Greetings, Beth Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back. Keep getting back on this. Still got breath in my lungs, life in this body. I feel like it's a good time to share some positivity, some hope, some optimism, speak life into you. May not be the easiest pill to swallow, this medicine here at Results Kill Excuses, but I guarantee results are guaranteed. What results? That's up to you. That's up to you. What you put in is what you'll get out. Isn't that true in anything in life? But the results are absolutely guaranteed around here. It's guaranteed. You're going to get results. I keep wondering what is holding some people back from taking that leap of faith, right? Y'all like to listen. Y'all like to be entertained. But what would get you to pull the trigger and take the leap of faith? Going all in on you. What does it take? There's a lot of chaos in this world. I had lunch with a good friend today. We were talking about some of the chaos. And I always wonder, I see how a lot of people are handling the current events right now. Most people, you're not doing good. Most, I didn't say all. Most people, they're not doing good. You're overwhelmed, frustrated, scared, fearful, anxious, depressed, stressed out, upset, angry. So I saw twos. And it's like, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with those feelings throughout any given day? Do you just let them go away? You let them pass? How do you process the negative emotions when there's so much chaos in this world? Can you sit in it? Can you sit in it like, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm scared? Can you just sit in it? Can you just know that, oh man, I don't feel good right now. I'm not doing good. I'm angry. I'm really angry. I'm really scared. I'm really fearful. I'm really frustrated. Can you sit in it? You know how powerful that is if you could do that? You could just sit in it, name it, sit in it, maybe breathe in it, and just even allow it to come to life. Allow those feelings to come to life. See, when you're proactive and you process, this is all called processing emotions. That's how you get back to neutrality. That's how you get back to your flow, right? And technically, in the present, that's how you don't continue to build up more frustration, more anger. Because see, here's what happens. If you haven't done the healing work from childhood, the childhood trauma healing work, which is literally going in a time machine, it's doing your life review, figuring out the patterns, writing down all the significant things that happened to you in life. Some of that's, and if you're somebody that's like, I don't ever want to do that, then fine, don't ever do that. But also feel like what you need to hear is don't expect major improvements in your life. Does that sound definitive? Yeah. The reason why I say that is if you don't heal your emotional wounds, there's a barometer, there's like a thermostat. It's called your upper limit. And you'll self-sabotage your life, your situations, just out of feeling unworthy for even success, for happiness. Anybody do that in relationships? Right? Deep down inside, you want somebody, you want to find that one. And then you find someone that's pretty good, but you sabotage it. I've been there. I've done that. And it's sad because we don't do this stuff conscientiously. You're not walking around saying, I'm going to sabotage. See, that's the problem. When we say we're our own worst enemies, it's the fact that you don't wake up and say, hey, I want to screw up my life. I want to make decisions. I want to react to things in this world that are going to cause me isolation, more frustration, more anger, more of the same. What we don't necessarily think that way. None of us do. What happens is you have these experiences in life that activate your subconscious programs, which are there, right? You have a conscious, subconscious, and a superconscious. A lot of people don't hear about that superconscious, but it's there. That's like really tapped into like the soul, that God conscience, right? Just really aligned with that divinity inside of you. But the subconscious, man, that subconscious is so relentless. And the way that the subconscious works is when you were a little kid, right? Let's go down memory lane real quick. You don't have to think about your memories. I'm just going to tell you what happens when you were a kid. See, when you were a kid, most of us, we do have spotty memories, right? From our childhood. It's like, you almost think of like Polaroids, right? Or snapshots. Like back in the day, we actually used to print our pictures, not just all digital. And so like you'd see a picture, you see pictures of events, maybe short videos of some experiences. But here's how your subconscious works is throughout the course of especially your childhood, this is when that subconscious is literally trying to figure everything out. And the way it figures it out is it records everything. It's alert to every situation. So even though you were like, oh, well, I was just a little baby. Yeah, you were just in your conscientiousness. Yeah, you were just a baby. You hadn't developed your brain. You hadn't developed your body, your immune system, like all these different parts of who we are. You hadn't developed it. But one thing that was there, and its way of developing, your subconscious's way of developing, is by recording every single activity that happens. And what it primarily starts to zoom in on is the terror. Anytime that you experience terror, and it didn't have to even be pointed at you. There's a lot of studies that show that people that are very quote unquote toxic in relationships, right? It's because you observed. You were in the energy of a dysfunctional relationship, right? That was your caregivers. I won't even use the mom and dad as a reference because we have all kinds of different dynamics in terms of who helps to raise us. But see, the thing is that part of you is very much awake. Your subconscious, it never sleeps. It doesn't take naps. It doesn't sleep. It's just constantly, it's like a monitor. It's just, it's like, it's almost like the thing that's coming through right now is it's like a security camera system, right? That's always on, right? It's always watching. And when it sees something, when it senses, like there's a sensor that goes off, that there's a warning, that creates a warning that there's a threat, that there's something off, what it does as a means of protection is it runs survival programs then. And so if I pointed it back to myself, I was a witness in the presence of a tremendous amount of physical, emotional, verbal violence. Tremendous amount. Like medieval shit, you know? And obviously that created a lot of terror in me to where I didn't feel safe, right? That's one of the programs that my subconscious developed, was that the world's not a safe place. Well, where did it get that from? I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't, watching social media back in 1978 through probably 1988, right? What you're doing is just your world. Your world was the environment that you were raised in. That was your world. And if that world wasn't safe, even if it wasn't for you, maybe you were safe, maybe you never got harmed. That's not always the case. Many of us did get harmed. Many of us did experience trauma, sexual abuse, and not even sometimes physically. What more and more research is showing is psychological abuse, sexual energy abuse, psychological, it's almost like somebody lusting after you, or just like, kind of having like a perverted type energy. That's just as harmful as literally physical, because your body absorbs that. And then it gets trapped in your body. And for a lot of people, it gets trapped in your hips, right? In your groin, in your lower abdominal. There's a lot of women, right? You have digestive issues, right? You think that this stuff is just, your nutrition. No, this is blocked energy in your reproductive, sexual regions of your body, right? And men also can experience this as well. But we don't ever want to think about it like this, right? We always look at like, oh, it must be the food I ate, or, it must be age. And it's like, no, I'm just here to let you know, not medical advice, but the things that we're doing, it's so new in medicine that it's like hard to be refuted, right? It's like, take some Pepto-Bismol for that, right? Take some laxatives for that. It's like, yeah, that'll treat the symptoms. It doesn't get to the root. And it's something that I've learned. I believe in understanding the body, right? You have injuries, you have ailments on the left side of your body. That's a blockage within your mother's side of the family, right? You feel things on the right side, it's in the father's side of the family. And there's plenty of studies that show athletes, right? A lot of times they'll say, well, I don't know, I just always keep getting a left knee injury or a right shoulder injury, and you just think it's just random, right, of chance. But then they're able to heal it by actually doing this other type of work, which is the emotional healing and also the ancestral healing, because emotional healing is tied to your ancestry. If you haven't figured that out yet, it actually does tie in very nice and neatly, because that generational trauma, the pain, has been passed on from one generation to another. And the thing that's happening in the now, and it's your opportunity, it's my opportunity, is you can put an end to that. You could be the one, the chosen. You can choose to be the chosen one, to say it ends with me. Enough of the secrets, enough of the stuff. And it's like, you don't guilt shame. You don't have to like disavow your family and just weird shit like that. It's just knowing that when you take extreme ownership for the things that you're carrying around inside your body in terms of trauma, when you take the ownership, that you're going to deal with those things, that you're going to figure those things out, that you're going to heal, release those things, you actually heal your family line. Because if you don't do it, it just, guess what? The next person, the next one, who's next? Someone's going to need to do it at some point. Someone has to find the courage and the strength and the clarity to say, you know what? Fuck, man. So, if not me, then who? If not me, then who? Who's going to be the one? Right? You gonna pass the buck? You're passing the buck? You want your great grandkids to finally figure this shit out? Or are you gonna be the one that resets the timeline from a victim wounded timeline into an elevated, higher conscientious timeline? Right? That's truly walking in alignment with the divine purpose of your family, your soul tribe's whole entire destiny. Why are you even coming to this planet? Why are you spending time here? Why have you spent countless years here? Is it just to toil? Is it just to work? Is it just to pay taxes? Is it just to consume entertainment and sports? Is it just to be overwhelmed? Is it just to get angry because of, who's in office right now? Is that that's your purpose on this planet? That's why you're here. That's what you were made for, is to complain, is to be emotionally manipulated, to believe everything you hear, to never really challenge your own beliefs. What is the purpose? That's what you think it's all about. You think it's all about just kicking back, chilling, getting a sunburn, eating some dogs, eating some burgers, never exercising, never eating healthy, just taking it all for granted. Fuck it, man. YOLO, we got this shit. What the hell does it matter anyways? I don't think anybody hearing my voice right now, deep down inside, deep down inside, I don't think you truly believe that it's just not a big deal. But this is tough to listen to. There's a lot of you, you come in here and you're like, wait, what is this guy talking about? This is not entertaining enough. Fuck, this guy's challenging. This guy's challenging beliefs. He's challenging us with neutrality. That's the wild thing, right? I'm not over here trying to challenge you with, to put you versus something else. I don't stand for politics. I don't stand for sports. I don't stand for social issues, right? I stand for humanity. I stand for oneness. I stand for truth, healing, doing life on life's terms, understanding that yes, you, listening, even if only for this next 5 seconds, you are an eternal soul having a human experience. Emphasis on eternal. That means that you will die, you will come back, you will do it again, you will die, you can come back, you can do it again. But there are lessons to be learned. There are experiences that you need to have, and it is not the bullshit. The challenging and getting lost in the shallowness of the life experience. And when it's shallow, when you're just chasing after, right, the stimulation and the excitement and the crowds, it's shallow. And yet I used to be there. I was at the forefront of all that. And now where am I? Now I'm the motherfucker. Good evening, brother. Shining the light in all these dark places. It's very triggering. That's why a lot of you come in like a turnstile. It's like in one of those hotels, the nice hotels. They got those doors, and it's like you see the live, and you come in, and you're like, you hear 5 seconds of it, and you're like, I don't want none of that, and fucking right back out into the streets, when it's like you could be welcome. You're welcome here, but you want to go back out in the streets. All right. Have fun out there. Be safe. Be safe. There's a lot of shit happening out in them streets. Most of y'all ain't ready for like if some real shit popped off. That whole idea of survival of the fittest, most of y'all ain't gonna last too long. I was talking to someone recently, and they were pretty emotionally wound up about all the social issues, and that they were. I felt like this person was actually upset with me because I was neutral. I'm not caught up in those issues, and they couldn't believe why. And part of it is because I'm ready for anything. Anything that happens, I'm ready. Legitimately ready. And they're like, yeah, you actually probably are somebody that's ready. And then I mentioned something about potential future bad case scenarios. And I said, I've already thought about that. It's not something I desire, but I'm ready if that happens. I have prepared myself. I continue to prepare myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically for the worst case scenarios. But I don't focus on that. I don't have time to be wasting focused on the negative. I just know that if it ever happens, right, this guy's ready to rock and roll. This guy's ready to rock and roll, mission ready right now. I don't need to go and run and get ready. I don't need to be like, oh shit, I'm not ready. What do I do? Fuck. I got like, I was that guy. I was the guy that like kind of just started like getting soft, right? Letting it go, taking it all for granted. I woke up and I was like, fuck, who the fuck is that fat ass? Who's that fat motherfucker? Is that me for real? Oh no. I'll never forget, man. It was we're coming up on 4th of July, and it was a 4th of July. I don't know, maybe it was 10 years or more. It was probably more than 10 years ago. And I was in Southern California, and we went to a friend's house, and it was like a beach party, 4th of July. And I remember there was like an upstairs stairway, and there was like, seating areas on a big ass deck. And I went and sat down on a chair. It was like one of those real flimsy white plastic chairs. And I sat down on it and I leaned back, and that fucker like broke. It like, I don't know, it like gave way. And I literally like almost, I didn't fall through the window, but I felt on the window, and it busted the whole fucking window, man. This big ass window. And I'll never forget, some chick says, oh my God, like a little beach chick. Who the fuck is that fat guy that just broke the window? And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was wasted, but that shit stung. Because I've never identified as like some big ass fat guy. But that's how I was described. That shit tore my fucking ego in half and stomped on it. I could not believe that I let myself go like that. And it's like, what was it about? How did I get there? Because that's in the course of my life, that's a pretty small timeline that I let myself go, and people would look at me and be like, oh, look, there's that fat guy. There's the fat dude. Look at this big fat guy. Oh no. Oh man, thank you so much. I'm so fucking grateful, man. I'm so grateful. Painful experience, right? To have to hit rock bottom, right? To have to really hit such a hard rock bottom that it's just like, dude, I can't do this no more. How did I get here? There has to be something better. There has to. There has to be something better than this. I knew it. I knew it. I knew deep down that there would be a way for me to trust myself, for me to rebuild myself, for me to transform myself. Look at this. This is total fucking transformation. I knew it, but I had to move in faith. I couldn't just believe my way into health, right? I had to act. I had to make some really fucking drastic changes. I had to get really honest with myself. I had to really dig deep inside of myself to say, dude, I can't blame nobody. What do I? And I have every excuse. I could blame mommy issues, daddy issues, everyone, every issues. I could blame everything on everyone else. And guess where I would be? Still there or gone, at least for now. I'm 46 years old. I feel like every year, probably for the past 16 years, every year more and more and more people that I grew up with die. And it's not just, we're not talking natural causes of death, man, or even tragic. A lot of suicide. And you always know it's suicide. It's kind of sad, right? Because the family's like, we're so afraid of it. We don't even like to talk about it, right? And that's what's sad. 2,000 men, 500 women every day on this planet. That's the stats. 2,000 men, right? 500. Did I say 5,000? 500. 500 women, 2,000 men every single day say, I can't do this no more. My pain is too much. Goodbye. Control, Alt, Delete. Done. And then there's, so if 2,000 people actually have the courage to make a move like that on themselves, what I do know for sure is there is massive amounts of people that are fucking chicken shit to do that. So you do it slowly. You slowly are hurting yourself, right? You've just given up. And it's like you wish you had the balls to do it or the courage or whatever the hell you need. And I've been there, man. I've been there. I've been in those dark nights where I was like, dude, what the fuck is this for? Let's just get it done, man. This don't make no sense. Really hard times. Emotionally, mentally. It's a mental, man. It's mental. It's just like, fuck. Mentally. It gets so hard sometimes. And when I look around, I see a lot of people suffering. Y'all think you're playing. You probably do give yourself a lot of credit because you hold it together most of the time, but not all the time. I can see it on people. I can feel it. I'm somebody that has that gift. I can see it and I can feel it on people when they're really hurting and just barely getting by. And usually it's because I talk to people. I take time to talk, right? I acknowledge, I make a point, and if you're hearing this message and you're someone that's on this mission with me, this to become the best version of yourself, is one of the most simplest things you can do, but it's very impactful, is to see people, to be present with total strangers. So maybe that's, you're in a gas station, a store, like usually the checkout people, right? The cash register type peeps. When you just like, how's your day going? Or the bagger, hey man, how you doing? And then it's like high fives. Everybody wants to like shake my hand. I'm like, no man, high fives. We do high fives now. And I just always thank them. I say, thank you so much for being here. And then sometimes, you have maybe a brief conversation. How you doing? I'm okay. Really? Just okay? What's up? Well, and then maybe they'll open up. But a lot of times, most people feel like they are totally unseen, right? Do you feel that way? Do you feel unseen, unheard? Do you feel like your life has no meaning to it? Who told you that story? When did you start that story with yourself? That's a story you're telling yourself. And just like you can tell yourself that your life sucks, you're not good, you're not famous, you don't have anything worth anything, right? You're the lowest of lows. Whatever you're telling yourself, guess what? You can do. You can tell yourself another story. That's what this whole journaling thing is that I keep talking to y'all about. I keep challenging you, pull the trigger, right? Support, it's like I don't just come with talk. I come with actual transformational programs, which, I talk to a lot of recovery centers, like veteran type retreat centers. They're all dying. They're all hurting for programs because most of the shit that goes through those doors is treatment of symptoms, right? Someone's got an addiction issue. Someone's just got the negativity. That's awesome, my brother. It's good to hear from you, dude. It's good to hear from you, Michael. Much love, bro. I'm glad that you did that. It's powerful when you do that because most people don't feel seen and heard. And most people, right? You can have a family, you can have people around you, but even then, you can feel really alone because you don't feel seen, because you don't feel heard, right? When I was married, I had 2 dogs, 2 kids, and a wife. And I remember I'd get home sometimes after a long ass day of work, and everyone was doing their own thing, right? All the people, they were all doing their own thing. And my one dog, like I had 2 dogs, but one of my dogs was like my best friend. He was my guy. His name was Everest. And that dog, man, he would be sitting out there every fucking day just waiting for dad to get home, man. That dude didn't never wanted to miss me getting home because he got so happy. He was just so grateful for my return. And then I walk in the house and everyone else is just oblivious, doing their thing, man. That shit can be really painful when you're out there busting it and then you feel like, what's it all for? Why do you think? I mean, that's why 2,000 men say, fuck this shit. This is what I got. Fuck. Later. I get that. I've been there. Very close. Very close. Just grateful I was able to pull through, man. Pull through. Something got me through because I needed to be here, right? Just like I believe you need to be here. Your existence matters. And now I have a belief, right? Beliefs matter. Beliefs matter, but it's not enough, right? It's not enough to just have the belief. Your belief in something should also be demonstrated with what? Action. When you believe in something, you should have action that demonstrates that belief to where you don't even have to tell people what you believe in. You just move in a way that people are like, I get what this person's about by how they show up. I know when everywhere I walk in nowadays, people got to make a comment because I'm a muscular fucking guy. I'm like, damn, man, the other day I was at a grocery store and this guy started walking like that. Damn, dude, you're all fucking jacked, bro. Just like, damn, bro, you're jacked. It's like, high five, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's the one thing you can't buy it. You can't buy your health. You can't buy your health. You cannot buy it. Nope. No amount of money is going to get you your health. We want the cheat codes, right? We're waiting. Society, the world, we're waiting for the cheat codes, right? We're waiting for the magic pills. Didn't they come out with one? I have a really good friend of mine, man. That dude blew the fuck up. Like, not blew up, like as in exploded, but he like got huge, big guy. And I was it's funny when we served in the military together and I helped him back then. And then I try to help him in more recent times. But I was talking about when I was at the hot springs the other day, there was a healthy girl and an unhealthy girl, and the healthy girl wanted it more than the unhealthy girl. Right? I know that I share that belief. I want it more than you want it probably for yourself. And the crazy thing is I have the capacity to probably do the work for you, but that's a violation. It's a violation because here's something I believe, right? And it's the reason why I wouldn't delete myself. It's because I know I come right. I know that we come back. And guess what? You have to do the work. You don't get to skip out on what I am talking about here. Y'all need to really, really start to listen to what the fuck I'm saying. You don't get off the hook. Even by deleting yourself, you come right back. And here's the cool thing is even if you chose to delete yourself in the next whatever few years, right? I'm gonna probably still be around. You'll probably be by the time you're 20, you just look me up and we'll do it then. Or maybe it's 10 years from now, right? Maybe it's 10 lives from now, I mean. And the archive of results kill excuses will still be accessible, and then you could do it then, right? But you can't get off. And that's what keeps me going is like I know that if I chickened out and gave up and stopped and deleted myself or whatever the fuck I wanted to do, you could say, oh, it's free will. That's not free will, right? That's giving up on what you chose. You chose to become the highest version, right? But that is your mission. It doesn't clearly it takes a lot of time because the experience of the physical is it's so seductive to us that we do lose ourselves. We forget that we are eternal soul, right? That there's something powerful happening, man. All the synchronicities, all the things happening in your life are meant to awaken you, to indicate to you that, wait, there's something bigger. There's something more. There's something that you're missing, right? And even though you keep distracting yourself, at some point, you're going to do the life review. What I am suggesting you do now is your life review. Because you can do your life, because if you do the life review now and you figure out the patterns and you do the healing and the release, guess what? That sets you up for success from here on out till the end. But the thing is if you just kind of continue down your path, your course, oblivious, be my guest, man. Like, my mission doesn't change. My purpose doesn't change because the purpose that I have is the same thing you have. It's our number one purpose. It's for me to become the best version of me. It's for me to continue working and healing and refining myself, right? This right here is not my main purpose at all. My main purpose is still me. And the cool thing is just I have found an alignment with the path of becoming my best self and then saying, I can't just keep this to myself. I need to share this with the world. Well, I'm glad you're here. We're talking about life. Me channel. We're talking about life. We're talking about healing. At the basis of what we're talking about, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. How do you do that? It's by healing your childhood trauma, whether that was sexual, physical abuse, lots of stuff, man. And it's truly the soul's purpose on this planet, right? Is for us to heal once and for all, not just, we just keep working, right? we keep healing forever and ever and ever. No, you can heal once and for all. And when you do that, then you're actually on the higher timeline. Yeah, you're welcome to be here. Grateful for your presence. It's not an accident. I still believe in that. The alignments here is powerful stuff going on here. There's a lot of people that are taking the leaps of faith, that are starting to engage. Because again, it's not just talk here, right? We have the 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1, Volume 2. That's 6 months of reprogramming work, right? For you to start really reprogramming the negative beliefs, right? All the never good enough, always down on yourself, to start really like starting every day with positivity, gratitude, right? Most of y'all don't do that. Most of y'all just get out of bed, wash, rinse, and repeat, deal with whatever's going on, and then you're getting inundated by all the news and all the chaos in this world, and that alone is stressing you out. And then everywhere you go, everyone else is all stressed out. And I had this revelation today. I was here going on my walk. I was recording a video, and it was just like blue skies and calm. It was like just this beautiful sanctuary here, the birds and just a very calm. And then off in the distance to the north, and there was this massive, massive cumulus cloud, like massive cloud. And it made me think, most people are on autopilot. And the autopilot is really just a pain response. I took a picture of this. Wow, it actually looks a lot better there. There's like this huge storm cloud. Like that's massive storm cloud stuff. That's like towards, I'm in northern New Mexico, so that's like right over the Colorado border. And I just had this revelation where I'm like, a lot of people get frustrated with me because I'm not easily emotionally stirred up about any issues. I'm neutral. I'm like authentically neutral because I've transcended the game that's being played, the theatrics of manipulation of I see it. And a lot of that is by my own personal experiences. I've run for political office. Like I understand the corruption. I know it's corrupt. And a lot of you, everyone I talk to, they say, yeah, it's corrupt. And I'm like, well, why do you still participate? Well, the lesser of two evils. I'm like, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. You know it's corrupt, but you continue doing it. And it's just like we have all these habitual fucking obligations and patterns in us that we need to break. And yet seeing that storm to the north was so reflective of, I'm over here in this just like this calm, beautiful sunset on this side, and it's just peaceful. And just to the north is this huge fucking massive thunder and lightning storm. They were showing like baseball size hail in Colorado this past week, like just destroying shit. And yet I'm over here just chilling, and there's a storm just to the north, probably within 80 miles. And yet how many of you are being pulled in by storms that are not right there in your life? They're off in the distance, but you're giving your attention, you're giving your focus, you're giving those things power over parts of your life, and especially over your mind. And so I've disconnected from that. That doesn't mean I'm not emotionally available. It doesn't mean I don't give a shit about the world. I do, but what is me worrying about a storm far off and even going out with a sign and banging and yelling and getting angry? And I ran for political office twice. I got eviscerated because I spoke against the machine. But what I learned, the number one lesson I learned running for local political office, city council, was compromise. Right? The powers that be came to me and said, "Hey, congratulations on throwing your hat in the fucking in the arena here. Good luck. Do you want our help?" And I was like, no. Oh, you don't want our help? And the minute I rejected their help, boom, they started fucking going after me. Right? I was a threat. They realized that if I was going to hold that stance, they want control, right? And that's why I don't believe in the system. Like, if anybody on the outside looking in, and every single adult that I talk to says, yeah, it's corrupt, and I'm like, then why do you participate in it still? Oh, well, it's just like people get like, they don't have real fucking, because there's no conviction. They just say, well, I just got to keep doing the same thing. That's the definition of insanity. If it's corrupt, what are you hoping for? You want something different to change? And it's like, just it's coming through. I love how this starts to work, right? I just got to start talking, and then the shit comes through. So here's what's coming down right now. The download is, when you're saying, when you know deep in your heart, you know in your soul that a system, something is corrupt, but you continue to participate with knowledge that something's not right about it, but I'm going to keep doing it. Set that aside for a minute. Put a mirror in front of your fucking face. And now ask yourself, why do you keep doing the same fucking things to yourself when you know that those things aren't good for you? When you know that those things are not benefiting your personal life? Fuck. It is a full-length mirror. This whole game is a full-length mirror. You see this shit? The people that are telling me, well, I got to pick the lesser of two evils. It's like, what? No, you don't. No, you don't, man. You don't need to participate. You don't need to pick any form of evil, especially if you think it's corrupt. If it's been hijacked, if it's corrupt in your best interest, and those people around you are not at play, like, you need to stop. You need to disengage and figure out, what do you have control over? What can you make a difference? What can you do to make a difference? And it starts with, guess what? Yourself. We need to stop looking out the window and start looking in the mirror. That's this whole message. Look in the fucking mirror. And the way you look in the mirror is every single morning, right? We got it right here. Results kill excuses. We come with stuff. It's not just talk. 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1, 91 days, starting every day with positivity. And now we got Volume 2 shipping. Oh, shit. That's 6 months. That's 6 months of starting every day with positivity. Every day with positivity. I don't know who they is, but I mean, I'm off grid. I don't know who they is. Who's they that's not leaving me alone, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. If you want to stay plugged in, you stay plugged in. If you want to be disconnected and focus on yourself, that's the best flex. The most sexiest thing that people could be doing right now, right? Because it's never been sexier, ever, 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 is working on yourself. It's the sexiest thing you could do, man. It is like the most attractive thing. It is the coolest thing. And there's never been a better time than now to start doing it. There's never been a better time to say, you know what? I'm going to get sober. Like, fuck the bullshit. There's never been a better time to say, you know what? I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start getting active. There's never been a better time to say, you know what? I'm going to start healing some emotional trauma. I'm going to start actually like working on myself and investing all of this wasted time on distractions and bullshit that doesn't ever add anything to my life. I'm going to go all in on me. There's never been a better time. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, this shit was not cool yet. And there was aspects of it that were cool, but it was one dimensional. It was, hey, go get in shape, hit the gym. But it's like, that doesn't heal the emotional, right? The hierarchy here is mental health, number one, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, then the financial health will fall into line. You harmonize and get that shit in line in your life, you're unstoppable. You're not having to worry about who's elected, what social issue, who's protesting, what war. You don't worry about any of that shit. And you're protected against that. That's the thing. You're protected against it because you no longer are putting your focus and your energy on it. The more you put your focus and energy on it, right? All that division, all that anger, all that hatred. I just showed you a perfect example. It's a reflection of what's going on inside of you. That's why you're seduced by it. When you're seduced by seduction, the art of seduction is being lured, right? It's like you're being distracted. It's like it's the thing that you can't resist. And if you're very easily distracted by many things, you got some work to do. And there's something, it's like, I know that this message still isn't like, it's not the cool, because we're still trying to pretend like somehow the good old days are going to come back, and they're not. The good old days are not coming back. We have to continue down this path. And this path is an evolution of humanity, not just, I'm here in the US. It's not just a US thing. This is a global thing. All institutions around the world are starting to collapse on themselves. So the more that you try to look for those things for your refuge, for your comfort, to be your savior, it's like this is not just a US thing. And that's what makes so much of what I see so silly. It's like, dude, everyone, this is a global issue this is where we are all one. This is humanity. Because the system that has been in charge for quite some time has been violating universal law. And it's like, you don't have to go and fight the system. It's collapsing on itself. You don't have to go and fight the system, making a bunch of noise and holding a sign on a fucking corner. That doesn't do shit. That does nothing to benefit your life, to get you closer to your goals, your dreams, your fulfillment, right? But yet there's so many people out there that they're that emotionally dysregulated. They're that upset with their own lives that they are literally taking other people's issues and making it theirs. That's what's wild. That's some entitlement. That's some entitlement, is when you can literally take someone else's. And I've been somebody that's been like a true advocate, not an activist. Activists bang pots and pans. Advocates study problems from all angles, objectively, and then come up with viable, actionable solutions to said problems. And maybe that could be even just something as simple as helping somebody out that's right there in your life, in your community, in your neighborhood. Seeing a problem and going and addressing it. That's making the difference. Going out there and yelling and screaming and chanting and whatever the fuck, it's like, what does that do? What does it do? Create some sort of a collectivism that somehow you're not alone with your anger and your hatred. Okay, great. So you need groupthink, right? You need to me, that's a codependency issue. Is that somehow you need all kinds of people around you, right? That believe the same thing, because at the core of what you're seeing, and I have a heart for this, is these are just like, if you're out there doing that, I know you're just afraid. You're afraid. You're fearful of what's going on. And that's a very human thing to feel. right? 20-page PowerPoint business plan. Sweet. When are you going to start the business? Planning the business isn't starting the business, right? Start the business. Do the moves, right? Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not the greatest power. The greatest power is action. Because I would much rather fail 5 times with an idea than sit there and evaluate and then pass around my idea to get other people's input on the thing. No, I don't want to do that. If I have an idea, something I believe in, I'm going to take action. And guess what? I'm going to fail forward. Because I will learn more from failure, and I have the courage to fail. I used to be really afraid of failing because I've chalked up some major L's in life. Major L's. And I used to think that me failing made me a failure. That is not true. Anyone that's ever created their own success, it was paved in the road of failure. Like you have to go through those trials, those tribulations, through the fires of life. And when you stay locked in and you don't waver, even when you want to tap, you learn how to rest and not to quit. That's when you become successful. But most people, you're afraid to execute on your ideas, on the things you believe. Because of what? Fear of failure, because of what other people are going to think about you, because of what you think about yourself. A lot of you have, like, every single person has something great inside of them. Like, we all have a unique gift or talent that if you were to truly believe in yourself and develop this talent, right? Develop it, refine it, master it, and then share it, you would be the best in the world. And it's not about comparing. It's just saying that if you truly harmonized and cultivated the creative, divine gift that is inside of you without fear of being compared to someone else, it's like, dude, don't worry about that. Just be your true and authentic self. And when you do that, you're the best. And even if other people don't think you're the best, as long as you think you're the best and you love doing the thing that's inside of you, you love sharing it, you love expressing it, it brings you joy, it brings other people happiness. Is it going to bring everyone happiness? No. Right? But there will be people that if you stay true to yourself, they will find you. It's happening here, little by little. Because is this the most popular message? No. Who the fuck wants to hear about? Guess what? Time to make some changes. Time to make some drastic changes in life. Number 1 is to get sober. Oh, I can't do that. Oh man, I'm out of here. Right? Walking in the hotel lobby. Right? There's the little thing. You hear that? Some guy says, "Hey, get sober, heal your emotional wounds. Do a life review." I'm out of here, back in the streets, man. Fuck that shit. I'm out. I'm back in the streets. But those of you that are hearing this, those of you that can stay locked in and hear what I'm saying, not just listening, but hearing. Hearing's in the heart. Hearing comes right here, man. It's like, fuck, there's a reason why I'm here, and I'm hearing what he's saying. Right? But what's the next step? Take action. Take action. Right? There's no better time than right now to take action. Take me up on the 1% Better Everyday Journal, the Breath of Life Healing Circle. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting for? No better time than now. That's what I feel. That's what I believe. And the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to start winning in life. The sooner you're going to start actually you're going to look back and be like, fuck, I wish I would have done this sooner. This is the best. This is the best. Yes, it's the best. But if I was you hearing this message right now, I would pick one of these options. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Just close your eyes and I'd pick one, right? I'd go on to resultskillexcuses.com and I'd go to the shop and I'd click on print products and I'd go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If it hollers, let it go. Right? Whatever. So. I would go with this option right here. The bonus pack. 6 months. 6 months of transformation for you. Straight up, man. Transformation. It's time to double down on your growth and level up in life. Unlock the power of both volumes 1 and 2 right here. Sharpen your focus, build real momentum, strengthen your accountability, transform your mindset, your habits, start stacking up some results in life, things that you can truly be proud of, right? And this isn't just any old journal. You have over 100 videos packed into both volume 1 and 2. Each of them are 3 months, 91 days. Thus the 1% Better Everyday Journal. And you have coaching videos, guided coaching videos for me throughout the whole entire journal. And it's made fun and easy, right? It's all the worksheets versus just, having to write, look at a blank page with prompts. You got fun worksheets starting every day with gratitude, right? Thinking that you're the best at something. I told you, right? You could be the best at something. You have to actually start every day with asking yourself that. Today, I am the best, and you have to fill that in. You know how challenging that question is challenging. It challenges me still to this day because there's a part of me that wants to be humble or, not feel good enough. And it's like, man, just write it down. Write it down. What do you want to be the best at? Just write it down. You got to start believing in yourself. This is how you reprogram it. It's the writing down part. And I challenge you to take me up on this. This is 6 months, volume 1 and 2. There's going to be a full year, right? 3 and 4 is in the works. A whole year worth of transformation. Who are you at the end of that? I guarantee you're not the person listening to this right now. I guarantee it. It's guaranteed results. What results? Right? That's up to you. Because what you put in is what you get out. If you go all in, lock in, 91 days volume 1, 91 days volume 2, 91 days volume 3, 91 days volume 4, you're a game changer. You're gonna be someone that is living your best life because you're creating your best life. You're visualizing your best life. You've shifted your negative thinking. You've elevated and started to heal your emotional wounds, the things that are limiting you. Right? You're becoming more self-aware, self-master of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your emotions. And you start to walk in this world in a way that's unconditional love. You no longer need to judge people and allow for fear to control you. But yet, when are you going to hop on the 1% Better Everyday Journal train, right? Summer is like 3 months. Most people just kind of chill on the summer. There's a lot of people that have been tuning in here that took me up on the challenge, and the challenge still exists. And today, through the 21st, summer solstice, right? If you're also ready to take me up on this challenge, all you got to do is go add to the cart, go into the cart, click the checkout, and if you type in 6 month, right? You type in 6 month discount code, it's right there. It's $150 for both journals. There's nothing like that. You know what's beautiful about fire season is not a beautiful thing, but the beautiful thing about the 1% Better Everyday Journal is it can go with you anywhere, right? Because it's a notebook. You can take it with you anywhere. You can do it on your lunch break. It even gets you off of some screen time. You can sit there. You can work on it, do some reflecting. Ideally, the morning would be the best, right? The way I would do it is I would listen to the videos maybe the night in advance, or I would try and listen to if there was a video for the next day, I would listen to the video, on the commute or on a drive or something, right? Because they're usually about 20 minutes. And then the next day, I would let it sink in, and I would wake up early and knock out the 2 pages for that given day. That's how I would do it to maximize it, because you got to be locked in. But this is transformational stuff. This is self-accountability. This is how you take your power back. This is the focus. It's right there. 1% better everyday journal. Right? I wish right? It would be funny if all I had was just talk. Let's just talk all day. Let's just talk about our problems. Let's complain. No, I have actually program support for you to empower yourself. Right? And a lot of people have been doing this. I love shipping these. These are my favorite thing to do. Right? Start every day with the gratitude right here. Every single day. I designed every one of these pages. I print these books. I bind these myself. My heart and soul goes into this. And this is exactly what I would have needed 13 years ago. I could only imagine, if right as I was getting awake to say I got to make some life changes, if I had run into this version of me, that would have been like 2 years, right? 2 years of really being locked in, being mentored and guided and coached by myself. And then 11 years of just fucking unleashing all of the creative gifts, all of the talent in just a higher state of being. And even if you were a slow 5 years, for you to be able to condense 13 years into like 2 years, 5 years. I mean, there's people that are on here that are locked in, and they're growing like in quantum leaps and bounds. Would this be possible if I hadn't invested the 13 years of just trying to figure out how to get here? No. But because these resources incorporate the 13 years of exploration, of relentlessness, pursuit of trying to trust myself. That was at the core of everything I've done, is trusting myself. Can I just please trust myself? And the thing is, I could not control myself 10 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times I could control myself, but that one time I couldn't control, being triggered, having my buttons pushed, losing my shit, that's the shit that fucked me up. And if you're human like me, in that regard, that your emotions can be very powerful and also very destructive when you are acting aggressive because you're you're disassociated with how you even feel on the inside. Like you're disconnected from yourself, right? And yet this right here can help you to start creating some goals, accomplishing some goals, creating some positive habits. And a lot of people will be like, man, you don't understand. I'm so busy. I don't have time for that. How much time does that take to do every day? I'm going to say if you could invest an hour, that would be a sweet place. It can be done you can break that up. But if you could give yourself 1 hour a day of undivided attention, waking up early, no distractions, focused, clear-minded, locked in, open-hearted, to be able to really just do the work. Do the work. Set yourself up for success. The beautiful thing about that is for those of you that say, I don't have the time for that, like that's a lot. An hour is a lot. But here's the thing. If you're honest with yourself, you waste a lot more than an hour every day. You just don't want to recognize that. And the reason why a lot of people waste an hour is because your mind is overwhelmed. You got way too much shit going on in your mind. So that hour invested, focused, downloading and getting shit out of your head, writing down stuff is actually going to save you time because you're going to be more focused. You're a lot more focused every single day with this part right here. Focus, right? There's the number one word. Focus on what really matters today. There's no accidents in this journal. This is literally masterminded by me. Focus on what matters to you today. See, the thing is you focus on a lot of shit that does not matter. Doesn't matter. And I use that word matter instead of focus. Like, what are your 3 goals for the day? Goals are outside of yourself. Goals are something yet to be achieved. When you hear focus on what matters, when you hear the word matter, something matters to you, guess what? That's a priority. It's something you care about. Thus, there's going to be a little extra, doesn't have to be a lot, a little extra incentive and motivation because it's coming from the heart. If it matters, something that matters to you, it's in your heart. You say, and you write it down, 3 things that matter to you. You're a lot more focused on your life. And the cool thing is that's every day that you're writing down 3 things that matter. These don't have to be, monumental achievements. These can be basic things. This can be an opportunity for you to hold yourself accountable to do something you're afraid to do. Maybe that's, something as silly as maybe asking someone out on a date. Maybe that's something as challenging, as intimidating as going and signing up for a gym membership or going to a fitness class or going out on a walk. I mean, it can be anything. Filing your business, LLC, right? Getting your domain name, like starting parts of your business. Like when you start to hold yourself accountable every day, writing down things that matter in 1 week, 30 days, 90 days, holy shit, you definitely got some receipts if you did the work. And that doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. Even me, when I write my 3 things that matter every day, fuck, there's a lot of days that there's days that I get 1 done, and there's some days that I get 2 done. There's never days that I get 0. I'll tell you that much. I don't have no 0 days, and neither should you. And a lot of you don't even want to keep score on yourself because you are getting 0 days. Watching something, observing something, mindless bullshit doesn't matter. Your measure of if something matters to you or not is how does it positively impact your life? How does it build you up? How does it make you a better version of yourself today than who you were yesterday? That's the measure of if something should be on your what matters to me today. And is that a high bar? Yeah, fuck yeah, it should be. But that doesn't mean that the things you put there need to be like impossible for you to accomplish in any given day. You can be optimistic, which is a really good mental characteristic to really use, is to be optimism. You can be a little over optimistic, and eventually you'll start to be a little more strategic, measured, and realistic in what you're putting down there so that you can feel more accomplished by saying, let me lower the bar on my standard. Let me write 3 things down. And then you start to do what? When you actually accomplish all 3 things, you gain confidence. You build your own confidence. But that's just on the daily. You write down 3 things that matter every week that you need to go back and look and review. And you also have 3 things that matter to you for the month. It's all tied in together. And it all starts with what? Your willingness to be held accountable to who? Yourself. You could be accountable to this community here at Results Kill Excuses, or you can just continue doing life by the seat of your fucking pants. Well, how's that treating you right now in 25? Right? Still, what are you complaining about now? I'm sure there's something. If you're flying by the seat of your pants, I'm sure you got something to complain about versus to something to really highlight as to saying, you know what, today I got all three things done. Where do you have control over? Things that are happening outside of your life, right? Far and beyond, right? Do you think that for you to watch, 4, 10, 40 hours worth of sports in a week or a month, right? What does all that do for you? That's like major time. That's major side hustle investment of time. That's cultivating and developing your gift, your talent type of time. But what is the barrier that tells you that that's not worth it, but sitting there idle is? And for most people, you're so mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically bankrupt, but don't want to truly acknowledge that. Either public acknowledgement of it is very powerful. We're so afraid of being shamed and being seen for who we truly are, but people do see you, and some people judge you. What the fuck does it matter? But when you just own your shit, it's very empowering, because then you don't have to just be walking around in fear anymore. You could be walking around boldly. And what just caught my mind is to be peace in the midst of the storm instead of chaos, more chaos, adding to the storm. How many of you add to the storm? There's a storm going on and you make it even worse. How many of you are making the storm worse because of your energy, because of your negativity, and you think you're justified? There's no virtue, right? Hatred, anger, even murderous thoughts are never justified sent to another human being, no matter the circumstances. It's karmic, and it always comes back to you, not them. But to be peace in the midst of the storm. That's how I felt today. I was like, wow, that's a huge storm right there. And I'm over here in my sanctuary, very peaceful. And that upsets some people. People that are super riled up, super, activated emotionally. They can't stand people that are like, how can you just be this? How can you just be that? It's like, what? Dude, more angry people isn't going to get nothing done. Right? Angry people does not get things done. Anger just brings about more anger. And it would benefit the world for you to cultivate peace within, to do the work. Not only is it sexy, it's the most powerful thing you could do, man. Life on life's terms, healing the emotional wounds, releasing, forgiving, right? Transcending, becoming the best version of yourself, falling down, getting back up, dusting off, taking ownership, and keep going, staying locked in, being a light in this world, right? Not being more hatred, more anger, more sadness, right? Be a light, be love. Love the unlovable, right? Could you? Could you love your enemies? Could you love the unlovable? Or do you just say that you care about some people, but only certain ones, right? I feel like I had a really great compliment the other day. Someone heard me talking. They're like, I genuinely feel like you love all people. They didn't agree with what I was saying, but they were like, I see that in you. Like, I definitely see that you do care about all humanity. And I do. I'm not polarized. I'm not over here trying to pick sides and act as if I'm aligned with these people, we're more virtuous than these people. It's like, no, man, like Just have just unconditional love for all people. Everyone's going through something. And I'm not in someone else's shoes for me to judge them based on what information I have about them. That still isn't probably an accurate assessment, no matter how it leaves you feeling, right? And if it leaves you frustrated, when you hear something about somebody else from a third party, right? That could be the media, that could be a friend, a gossip, right? You could be just gossiping about somebody. That's never a good place to be. That's never, ever, 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 ever a good place to be. We think it's like, oh, I'm very informed. Again, knowledge is not power. Action is power. Taking action. And a lot of people just need to take the action of working on themselves, working on what you can truly control, right? A lot of you don't think you have control over your mind because you've given away the power, right? And the authority over your mind, but you can take your power back. And once you establish dominion over your mind and authority over your mind, right? Then you'll understand fully what I'm talking about. But if you're still chemically dependent, however you want to justify that, you don't need to justify it. If you like chemicals in your body, that's your choice. That is also your choice. That's your mind. Your mind is saying, I need chemicals. There was a lot of time in my life that I said the same. I need to be drunk. I need to be high. Need chemicals. Cannot function without. When I hear myself saying that now, I'm like, yeah, dude, you had some problems, didn't you? And I'm like, at least I'm the guy that admits, I had problems. I was using it to self-medicate and numb my pain because I didn't know any other way. That's what's pretty crazy is I didn't know any other way. And I know a lot of you don't know another way. And you're afraid of hearing the other way that I'm presenting because it does start with kicking your vices to the curb. It starts with having the courage to say, I got a problem and I need help and I'm going to give this up. Right? If not forever, at least for a pretty big, give yourself some time and space. Maybe can you do it for a month? Can you get to 90 days? Can you get to 6 months? Can you get to a year without whatever the thing is you say you don't got a problem with, but yet could you get there? Could you do life without? Whatever it is, could you do life without it? Right? Could you? If you don't got a problem, you should be able to say, yeah, easy, and then do it. But if you say, well, I don't have to do it, then you're negotiating, which obviously that's sensitive because maybe you do have a bigger problem than you think. You just don't, it's hard to admit that. It takes a lot of courage. I'm telling you, not only was hitting my rock bottom a catalyst for me to find the courage to stop drinking, I saw this little keychain. I wish I could find them, right? But I saw this little keychain that was in a veterans center, and it basically said it takes a real warrior to ask for help. And I just really looked at it and it set in, and I'm like, is that true? Because I knew I didn't like to ask for help. I didn't like asking for help. I used to be really prideful. Right. And that's like a man's thing. Women will ask for help a lot more, which there's even statistics that show longevity of life. Like women live longer because one, they'll ask for help, they'll go to the doctor, and they'll actually follow like what a doctor prescribes. When men don't go to the doctor, and even if they do, they don't like to follow what's prescribed. And I was that guy. Like I had to really sit and think on that. I had to really sit and think on that. Is that true? Does it really take a warrior to ask for help? Am I really being a coward by not asking for help? Because that's a major shift, right? That's a mental shift. And part of it was even just my training, right? I was a hospital corpsman with the Marines. And so there's echelons of care in the military. And so you have what's called self aid, then you have buddy aid, then you have corpsman aid. So I was the third echelon, right? So usually if you have an injury or something, can you take care of it yourself? Take care of it yourself because you have a little first aid kit. And then it's like another echelon is like, well, your buddy next to you, can they take care of it? And if they can take care of it, you guys together take care of it. And then the third echelon is like, okay, call doc, right? We need actually a medical professional over here to fucking get this shit unfucked. And so just like a plumber with a leaky faucet or an electrician with shitty wires, switches that don't work, plugs that aren't right. I was that guy. I was like, I'm a fucking corpsman, and I know when I need help. And if I don't, and even if I do need help, I know how to take care of myself. I could take care of others. I can take care of myself. And it's like, I wasn't taking care of myself, clearly. So I had to have a whole mental shift. That was a mental shift right there, to go from somebody that was like hesitant to ask for help, hesitant to go to the doctor and be like, I have a problem. I need some help. Right? The stigmas is like somehow that's weak, right? I mean, that's even just kind of in like the manosphere, right? It's like, be a fucking man, like suck it the fuck up, right? Rub some dirt on it, Be a fucking man, bro. Like, man up, motherfucker. Real men don't need to go to the doctor. Real men don't need to go to a therapist. That's for fucking soft men. That's for pussies, It's like shit like that. That exists out there. And so I had to have a whole mental shift. I think Adam is calling that the mental override, man. It's like, yeah, you have to override these limiting old beliefs, the old mold, right? Whatever the old mold that you think you were cast into, you got to smash that shit, especially if it's limiting you and holding you back. It's like, grow up. It's like you have to grow up at some point and be like, you know what? We have this stigma about putting your self-interest number one. We call it selfish. And somehow that's a bad thing. It's like, dude, you need to be selfish. If you're hurting right now, if you got a lot of fucking shit that's unresolved in your life, right? How can you turn the word selfish into a positive? Like I've heard that with a few people recently. They're like, you know what? I made a decision. I'm going to be selfish. And they just reframed it. Like they owned the negative. They said, I don't care if someone wants to say that that's a bad thing. I know that this is what I need to get to the other side of how I'm feeling, because no one's rescuing me. No one else is helping me out. I need to do this for my fucking self. And so I don't like to use the selfish. I say self-interest. But some of you maybe just need to embrace, like, yes, go be fucking selfish with healing yourself, because that is actually unselfish when you do it. And then you're able to like show up as a true and authentic version of yourself to the people that matter to you. You no longer have to be this fucking fragmented version of who you are, wearing masks, walking on eggshells, people pleasing, right? Fear of abandonment, just all of these things. It's like, man, it's time to get this shit figured out and sorted out in your life. And you are the only one. You are the only one that's capable of doing it. And if you want to go out there in the wilderness and try and figure it all out for yourself, be my guest. If you want something even that's more direct, this is the starting point. 1% better every day. Journal, volume 1. If you only want to do the volume 1, see what happens in 91 days. I guarantee you, if you lock in, you'll transform. But there's also the bonus pack, volume 1 and 2. That's 6 months. That gets you through next year. But it's there. It's sitting there. It's waving at you. I love shipping them. I've shipped out a lot, man. That number is growing every single day, and it's beautiful. You should be next. You should be next. It's an incredible resource. It's something I'm very, very, very proud of. And I love sharing it with people. I love sending these out because of the stories that are coming on the other side of someone actually making that investment and saying, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna try it. What do you got to lose? Right? It's doing something versus nothing. Right? You're doing something. That's taking action. It's one thing to know that it exists. It's another thing to say, I want that in my hand. I want to be holding that 1% Better Everyday Journal in my hand. I want to have that cool 4-color pen. I want to have, right? I want to be able to start watching these videos and learning and really seeing how does this shift. And it's not something that you just figure out on your own. Again, there's video support throughout the whole entire journal of me coaching you and encouraging you and teaching you and inspiring you to just keep going. It's a beautiful program, and it's available for you right here, right now. Will you take me up? I sure hope so. I sure hope that you'll take me up here sooner than later. It's on sale right now. The double pack, the volume 1 and 2 double pack is on sale, right? There's nothing like this ever on this planet. Nothing like this. I went to a business incubator like today because I have a vision to not only just share the information here, right? I want to start doing like 3-day and 5-day workshops at like veteran retreats, recovery centers, crisis centers. And so I went to this like financial conference today where there's supposed to be a lot of government agencies and stuff. And I talked to everyone there that had a table. And there's going to be some opportunities that come from it, but you know, people's mental health, their behavioral health is still very much overlooked. And one thing I know about a lot of recovery centers, a lot of retreats, they're lacking in programs to actually help people. There's a lot of treatment, right? Like if you have an addiction or you have some kind of an issue, there's treatment for that all day long. But the treatment doesn't heal your issue. You have to get to the root of your problem. You have to get to why are you using what you do? Why are you doing what you do in order to self-medicate, self-sabotage, self-abandon yourself, when it's like what you really need to do is get to the root of what is causing you the pain underneath, right? It's going layers deeper. I always love to do the layer game. It's like I always say, ask people like, how do you feel right now, right? If I was to ask you, like, how do you feel right now? Like, check in with yourself. Don't just answer that. Like, check in. Like, how do you feel? Are you calm? Are you a little anxious, a little overwhelmed, a little worried, lonely, whatever you feel? And then it's like, can you go deeper? What would be one level deeper than whatever you just felt? Can you get a little deeper? Is it just what you said off kind of the tip of your tongue, or can you get a little deeper? What is another something that's coming up for you on how you feel at a deeper level, right? And then it's like you go another level deeper, because I've learned this the hard way, but you hear it through all the relationship training that I've done and all the relationship experiences I have. It's like if you're in a relationship and you're fighting about money, or you're fighting about sex, or you're fighting about intimacy, or you're fighting about faithfulness, it's never about those issues. There's always something deeper that's going on. You're just using that as the as the linchpin for conflict. You're using that as the subject for conflict, but there's usually something deeper going on underneath the hood of who you are. And when we can give ourselves permission to have enough courage, clarity, and confidence to actually get deeper within ourselves, deeper in the mirror, deeper within, that's where the truth lies, and that's where your freedom exists. Once you face what's really going on inside of you, when you face it, you accept it, and then you also just can forgive it, release it, set it free. That's the healing process. Woo! 11:11. Now it's 1113. I think that's what I got for tonight. I appreciate everyone that showed up. There was a lot of people hopping in and out of here tonight. I hope that you'll take me up on the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Whether you just start with volume 1 or you go for the bonus pack. I know it's worth your time. And I know that if you're looking for something to just start to shift your patterns, create even like a morning routine, a ritual of really just setting yourself up for greater success, living life with intention, that is probably the most underrated resource on planet Earth right now. But it won't be that way for long, because we coming. We are coming. We're coming in hot. We're coming strong. And I ain't backing down. So much love to all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. I send you lots of love, joy, peace, clarity. I send you some clarity right now. People need a lot of clarity, right? If you're caught up and you know you're caught up and you're feeling a little bit helpless, hopeless, don't give up. Keep going. Ask for help. I'm going to pass out. It's time for me to call it. It's been a great day. Great, beautiful day of life. Let's do it again tomorrow. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.